Hi, I'm Peter Travers, movie critic for Rolling Stone, and I'm here like I always am to tell you about what movies are opening this weekend. And you know what, people? Crap. It's crap. It's The Rock, Dwayne Johnson now, excuse me, I can't call him The Rock, in Race to Witch Mountain, a remake of The Last House on the Left, which is perfectly fine the way it was. So we all know what's going to happen. This weekend is going to be the same as last weekend. The big movie will be Watchmen. Now I know it opened at $55 million, which is the biggest opening of the year, but everybody who spins those stories says, well, no, Watchmen wasn't that. It should have made $80 million, or it should have done this. Look, a lot of people went, a lot of people will still go. We're going to argue about it forever. But Watchmen made me think of something else. It made me think of what are the great comic book movies and what are the ones that truly suck, the ones you want to flush down the toilet. So that's what we're going to talk about now, because Watchmen's going to make you want to see the good ones. My favorite is a tie. The Dark Knight, which we all just saw and we've talked about it, I love for so many reasons, but I love its darkness, which is true to the comic book spirit, and I love the performance, now the Oscar-winning performance by Heath Ledger as the Joker.
It's simple. Kill the Batman.
But the Batman in that, Christian Bale, can't compare to me to the Batman in Tim Burton's 1989 version of the film Batman. And I will remember Michael Keaton forever, not just as the playboy Bruce Wayne, but as that guy in that cape, alone on a skyscraper at the very end of the movie, unable to enjoy anything in his life, having to look for the bad guys, having to exact revenge for the murder of his parents, and always out there, always questing, always alone. Great, great scenes. Now, I love other comic book movies. I've got to say the best things about Iron Man, which also came out last year because Robert Downey Jr. invested that character with real life, with feistiness. And I couldn't resist them. I also like Spider-Man tremendously, but I've got to say it's Spider-Man 2 that I like the best because Sam Raimi, the director, got better at the special effects. And so every we saw in that movie looked better, and the human story was better between Kirsten Dunst and Tobey Maguire. So these are good movies, and then there's the one that always gets me in trouble when I name this as one of my favorite comic book movies, but it is, and it's called Sin City. Robert Rodriguez directed it, and it gets every kind of thing that Frank Miller was trying to do in his comic book. It's monochromatic, it's shot against the green screen, and yet we see the blood, the redness against the black when it comes. And it's as dark and twisted, well, as I am, which is why I love it so much. And Mickey Rourke, who got all of this press this year for playing in The Wrestler, and it was supposed to be his comeback performance, he made that comeback performance in Sin City, and playing this guy who wanted to go searching for souls in hell, to actually say, I'm going to rage against anybody who doesn't give me this feeling of vengeance that I feel for the love of my life being killed. You want to see a great Mickey? You look at Sin City. All right, scumbucket time. What are the comic book movies that belong in that scumbucket more than anything on earth? So many. I've got to say right away, Fantastic Four. I don't care that Jessica Alba was in it. Cheap, shoddy, hideous goods, horrible. And you know what? They made a sequel to it. They made Rise of the Silver Surfer, which is even more flagrantly awful than that one was. You can't go near it. Then there's the League of the Extraordinary Gentlemen. You know, this is the kind of movie that Alan Moore, who did Watchmen, said, I don't trust Hollywood anymore, so anytime they use my comic books to make a movie, I don't want my name on it. I don't care. I don't even want the money. And League of Extraordinary Gentlemen was 19th century. Sean Connery was in it. It pitted Dracula up against Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Great story. Crappy movie. I mean, just really awful in the extreme. I also see visions of Sylvester Stallone in Judge Dredd. Remember that? Judge Dredd, great comic book. It was like the Dirty Harry of comic books, and there's Stallone going, blah, 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 blah. Horrible. But the very worst takes me back to my best, and it's a Batman movie, and it's called Batman and Robin, and this is the one where George Clooney played Batman to Chris O'Donnell's Robin, and both gave the worst performances of their lives. Now, George Clooney has told me many times that it was the outfit, that he was the only Batman who had nipples in the rubber suit that he had to wear. But you know what? George himself was awful in it. Everything about this movie brought down the franchise. And so Scumbucket, all of you little chihuahuas that are in there, everyone else I threw in there, make room, because these comic book movies need to be there and stay there.
I want a car. Chicks take the car. This is why Superman works alone.
You know, comic books make everybody crazy, so I'm sure you have your own favorites, and I'm sure that you have some that you would like to rip up on camera, as I was. I should have brought in some Fantastic Fours. But tell me what your favorite comic book movies are and what the ones are that you hate to the degree of rage. And you can reach me at asktravers@rollingstone.com, and hey, we'll go at it, we'll fight. I'm Peter Travers.